What's good, everybody? It is your boy 5 Wars Deke, and in a stunning move, Solomon Daniels is your defensive back of the year for the second straight year and third time in the past 4 years, if you can believe that. Solomon Daniels was defensive back of the year last year with 10 interceptions, which led the NFL, and of course 2010 when he set the record for most pick sixes in the NFL. But I really thought that 2013, I thought this award was going to Lennox Suggs. Because you may remember Lennox Suggs tied Solomon's record with 5 pick sixes. But what made Solomon the winner was much more than the pick sixes. It was the sacks and the forced fumbles, the yayerts, and then you add on the interceptions. So Solomon Daniels was the most well-rounded defensive back in the NFL this year, not just the best ball hawk. Lennox Suggs was the best ball hawk. Or I guess actually it was Todd Pearson, because Todd Pearson led the NFL in picks. But either way, Solomon Daniels is your defensive back of the year once again. So he is a 6-time Pro Bowler and a 3-time DB of the year. That definitely is enough to get him in the Hall of Fame. But today it is the last Hawaiian ride. Last time playing in the Pro Bowl, representing the AFC. Got the Chiefs helmet on. Don't know what team Solomon will retire as a member of, but it's all good, man. Let's just enjoy this ride. Mike White, the true MVP of Super Bowl 48, will get us started in Hawaii. Yeah, that's what a real kicker does right there. That's a real kicker right there. It really sucks to be in Hawaii as a Super Bowl runner-up. Like that is not fun at all. I don't know why, I really don't know why any Chief would show up. Like, it's been a week, we lost the Super Bowl, and now we're gonna play this All-Star game? I guess. And I also, it makes complete sense why they moved it to before the Super Bowl. Because win or lose, who the heck wants to play the Pro Bowl after being in the Super Bowl? I don't know. I don't know who would want to do that, but it's all good. 3rd and 10 here for the AFC, and it is incomplete. 6th time in Hawaii for Solomon Daniels, man. 5th time representing the AFC. Solomon's never lost a Pro Bowl. He's never lost a Pro Bowl. Remember, he was Pro Bowl MVP. Intercepted! Tim McCoy. Now, as I was trying to say, Solomon Daniels was Pro Bowl MVP his first time in Hawaii. A member of the NFC representing the 49ers, had 2 interceptions in that contest. I think he led the team in tackles that day. I think he did. Led the team in tackles, had 2 picks. He was MVP. Oh, wow. Maurice Jones-Drew. Wow, that is a ticked off brother right there. I mean, you running like that in the Pro Bowl is crazy, bro. You must really be mad about that AFC Championship game. And I get it. I get it, man. Like, let's talk about that real quick. We'll get to the Super Bowl in a second. Let's talk about that AFC Championship. We all know Jacksonville had that game won. Kansas City had no timeouts, and they decided to run the ball 3 times. Now, my thing is this, and I tell people, touchdown AFC. Here's what I've been saying to people. It's not that their decision to run the football was wrong, because it wasn't. Technically, taking a knee is running the ball. It's a negative running play. So it's not like handing the ball off was a bad idea. It wasn't a bad idea. The problem was they quick snapped it. That's a fumble, and it's picked up by the AFC, and the AFC scores again. Yeah, we're on a roll right now. We are on a roll right now. I'll take that. I'll take that. I don't know why we couldn't do this in the Super Bowl. Don't know why. So I hope I can finish my point this time with no turnovers and nothing crazy happening. They quick snapped it. Jacksonville continued to snap the football early. You're not supposed to do that. Had they waited until there was 5 seconds or less on the play clock, then they would have won the game. Because they were just simply keeping the ball on the ground. Oh, Solomon almost had it. Oh my goodness. Boy, if Solomon had held on to that, he'd be in the end zone right now. Goodness gracious. Okay, quick snapping. That's what we were talking about, right? You can't quick snap it. So the first, it was a stopped clock. So they had to hand the ball off on first down. It didn't matter when you snapped it. It was second down that screwed them. Because they mismanaged the clock on second down, they got screwed and had to now try to get a first down on third down, but they still quick snapped it. And I think that's simply panicking. That was a situation where they panicked. And yes, you can get on Jack Del Rio for calling run plays or just approving the offensive coordinator to hand the ball off to MJD, but you have to get upset at Greg Miller, the quarterback, for saying hut before the clock even hit 10 seconds. You cannot say hut with 30 seconds left on the play clock. You have to let that thing wind down a little bit. You got to milk it. So it's really on him. The other part is, let's not forget, Kansas City still had to go win the game. So, man, y'all shouldn't have won that game. Y'all shouldn't have won that game. I understand that. And yes, you can certainly make that argument. But as we saw in the Super Bowl, there's no guarantee that our quarterback was going to get the job done. There was no guarantee of that. He still had to connect with Darrell Irvin for that touchdown. And Darrell Irvin could have dropped it. Because guess what? Darrell Irvin, believe it or not, had drops this season. He had dropped a couple of passes. So it was entirely possible for Randolph to get picked off, for Darrell Irvin to drop it, or for there to have been a holding penalty when Darrell Irvin did catch it and go in for a touchdown, but there were no flags on the field. So, you know, there was still a chance for us to mess up, and Jacksonville got it back. So Jacksonville had a chance to score one more again, and they could have won it on a Hail Mary. So yes, they mismanaged the clock, but it ain't like that guaranteed. That did not guarantee anything. That's a touchdown for the NFC, Deion Branch. So that's my opinion on the AFC Championship. Yes, Jack Del Rio should be fired. He should be. He's coaching the AFC right now. He is the AFC coach in Hawaii. He's on the sideline right now, but he should be fired. This is not about whether or not you can coach a good team. Yes, he can. Yes, he constructed a good team. Jacksonville, formidable. Formidable team. Perennial playoff team. But here's what's unacceptable, though. In the biggest moments, can you make the right decisions? And the answer is no. So guess what? Just because you went 13-3, it does not mean in the slightest that you are a Super Bowl winning head coach. Because Jacksonville has been to the AFC title game 2 years in a row, and they have lost both times. They lost to the Dolphins last year, and they lost to us this year. Simple as that. Now for us, in the Super Bowl, it's pretty freaking simple. Like, it's not complicated at all. We failed to stop the run completely. We could not contain D'Angelo Williams. We typically can. We don't care who the running back is. And we faced really good running backs throughout the season. I mean, look at what we did with Marshawn Lynch in the divisional round. He didn't do much of anything. So I just, we failed. Then again, and I'm being serious when I say this, then again, we still played good enough defense to win that game. Just because we gave up over 100 yards rushing, and we did give up a couple of explosive plays, both on the ground and in the air, we still played well enough to win that game defensively, because there were times where we were already backed up, like that shank punt. Shank punt, drive starts for Carolina at the KC 17, and they essentially go 3 and out and settle for a field goal. Now, that field goal was incredibly damaging, and it was only damaging because our offense was lifeless. Our offense had nothing going. They could do nothing. And that's how that game was lost. They kicked 4 field goals. Mike White connected on 4 field goals. 2 touchdowns win that game. 2. And you can't say they didn't have the opportunity to score those touchdowns, because A, Todd Pearson got an interception and took it into KC territory, or took it into Carolina territory. And B, we started a drive somewhere in our own territory and then ended up, oh, that boy about to score. Okay, we got him. Like, that drive started somewhere in our own territory. We ended up in plus territory. We had a couple of big completions and then did nothing with it. We had to settle for 3. That's on the offense. The offense was lifeless. Torrance Redmond was the only scorer. How ironic is that? The only points we got came from the kicker that everyone hates. And yet he is the only reason we even put up points in that game. Now, this is a mess. This Pro Bowl is a mess. Without Torrance Redmond, we get shut out. That's just a fact of life. Without Torrance Redmond, we get shut out. So that's that on that. That's that on that. You can't have your quarterback throw 3 interceptions. You can't go from 3 touchdowns, no picks in the AFC title game to then no touchdowns, 3 picks in the Super Bowl. That's a 180. That's a total 180. We didn't deserve to win that game. We didn't play like winners that day. We didn't play like champions that day. So defensively, it's like, man, did we play well enough to win? Sure, but their defense played better. The Carolina defense played better, and I didn't know they were built like that. And I don't think that's mutually exclusive with the fact that Randolph didn't play well. But watching that game back and taking a look at the film of that game, those guys were on our receivers like white on rice, man. Darrell Irvin was consistently covered. There was always safety help. They undercut almost every route. It's like they knew every route combination. They knew every route combination, and we couldn't stop it. Oh, okay, he's about to score. That boy gonna score. That boy is going to score. Now, if I may, real quickly, I do want to address some of the comments that think Solomon should just give it one more ride because the way the game ended and everything else, and like, oh man, you can't go out like that. Oh, you can't go out like that. You got to do one more. Here's the honest truth. Even if Solomon chooses not to retire, he will not be a Kansas City Chief. Will not. His backup is a 91 overall. Rich Hank Williams is one of the highest rated safeties in the league, and he's a backup. Solomon was a rental, essentially, to make the secondary OP, which it was. The secondary was OP, and the goal was to win a Super Bowl. It didn't happen. They are not going to pay Hank Williams all the money that's owed to him, because he is owed a good chunk of money, and then turn around and have to pay Solomon. They're not going to do that. So Solomon will not be a Kansas City Chief if he chooses to come back. So he's going to go somewhere else, and that could be anywhere. That could be anywhere, and there's no guarantee that team's going to be any good. Another thing, too, Randolph probably won't be on the Chiefs next year because this contract is expiring, and we all know how this series gets down. We all know this series is all about quarterbacks not getting new contracts. If your contract expires, you're done. They don't care if you're Tom Brady. They don't care if you're Peyton Manning. They don't care if you're Michael Vick. They don't care if you're Vince Young. They don't care if you're Brett Favre. They don't care. And so, unfortunately, for Randolph, his contract is expiring, and I know they did re-sign Darrell Irvin, which was a shock. Bringing back Darrell Irvin was shocking. But yeah, Randolph more than likely, because he plays the quarterback position, probably is not coming back. And that means even if Solomon were to return to the Chiefs will not be the same, because their two-time championship quarterback will no longer be on the roster. I'm about to say, don't let him catch that ball. So it's done, right? Like this series, this is the second to last episode. We're gonna do a retirement special, and that will be the last episode. And it's okay. Solomon may be done, but Favor's Deke is not. And Solomon's family, basically I have a plan, and it's gonna be like a whole bloodline thing. Shout out to Roman Reigns, put your ones up. We're gonna do a bloodline thing, man. You're gonna get all kind of stuff, man. Solomon's family members and relatives, and you know, a whole thing of people related to Solomon Daniels. There's a plan. So the next mode we do, or the next series, will be it will be superstar mode. Like let's put that out there. Superstar mode. This is gonna be superstar mode heavy. It's Solomon's cousin. So the next series is Solomon's cousin. So there will be more superstar mode. They will be related to Solomon Daniels. And I think it's going to be good. I really do. And I hope you tune in. I do. I hope you tune in. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope you have as much fun as you have had over the past 7 seasons of Solomon Daniels. I really do. I really hope you enjoy that. So, that's kind of what I have in mind right now. And it's all good, y'all. I'm excited for the next series. I'm excited to see what Solomon's cousin does, who plays on the offensive side of the ball. You'll get an introduction to who that is in just a little bit, or I guess at a later time in another video, but I'm excited about that. I'm really looking forward to it. And hopefully that man wins a Super Bowl. Hopefully. Especially because he's playing on offense. So he has more of a direct effect on if the team scores or not. That's going to be cool. 49 seconds left in the half. This will be the last half Solomon plays in, because the backup free safety, or the free safety with the second most votes, will start the second half. And Solomon will be on the bench with a baseball hat on, laughing and talking with some friends and just having a good time, soaking up the sun in Hawaii. There will be a couple of plays here and there where he has to come in, but they're not going to be too often. Tiger. Yeah, that's Solomon right there, baby. Oh my goodness. He caught that. Yeah, Deion Branch going kind of stupid in the Pro Bowl, bro. I ain't gonna lie. He going a little stupid. Play action and a touchdown for the NFC. The Pro Bowl is over and the AFC wins. I didn't show you all this, but Solomon Daniels put the game away. This is his final defensive play in the NFL, an interception on Donovan McNabb in the final 2 minutes of the game. So that's it, folks. That is it. The career of Solomon Daniels is done. We've got one final video in this series, and that will be retirement and Hall of Fame induction. Until then, it is your boy Favor's Deke. Merry Christmas, everybody. One love.